After months of deliberation and prayer about the future of our country, I have come here tonight to make an announcement on how I believe I can best serve her.
What made me get in the car to get up here? Marco Rubio.
I'm here to support Marco.
I'm a huge supporter of Marco.
This election is a generational choice about what kind of country we will be.
Love that he's a principled man who articulates the aspirations that he had growing up, that this country could be great.
We Americans are proud of our history, but our country has always been about the future. And before us now is the opportunity to author the greatest chapter yet in the amazing story of America. That is why tonight, grounded by the lessons of our history, but inspired by the promise of our future, I announce my candidacy for President of the United States.
He said it's time for a new generation of Republicans to lead the way in America.
In his first official campaign trip since announcing his candidacy, someone who stands and represents our future, Senator Marco Rubio.
Now it is up to you and I to go out and to seize it, to be the party of the future, to show those who are trying to improve their lives that we are the party with the ideas and the plan to get us there.
Decision 2016 and Senator Marco Rubio now on the Iowa campaign trail.
I like his directness, his boldness.
He makes you proud to be an American again. I haven't really seen that since the Reagan days.
You cannot have a strong country without strong people, and you cannot have strong people without strong values.
I'm excited about Marco because I think he brings the youth and the energetic feel that we need in this country.
This country is facing an economy that has been radically transformed. The jobs that once sustained our middle class, they either don't pay enough or they are gone. And we need someone that understands that as our nominee.
Marco Rubio seemed very passionate, strong conservative who shares the values of the people here.
Made the argument, I'm the candidate of change, I'm the candidate of the 21st century.
Are we really going to go backwards in generations, or do we go forward? And that's what makes him such a dangerous opponent for Hillary Clinton.
Look around the world today. These are extraordinarily dangerous times that we live in. There is a lunatic in North Korea with dozens of nuclear weapons. The Chinese are rapidly expanding their military. A gangster in Moscow. You have radical jihadists in dozens of countries across multiple continents. And the next president of the United States better be someone that understands these issues.
Really showing people that he's the better candidate on some of the big issues that they care about.
And I'm running for president because I know this. Unless we have the right president, we cannot make America fulfill its potential, but with the right person in office, the 21st century can be the greatest era that our nation has ever known.
This election is about the essence of America, about all of us who feel out of place in our own country, a government incredibly out of touch, and millions with traditional values branded bigots and haters. This is about wages growing slower than the cost of living, a generation drowning in debt, and a president humiliated by Putin, Iran, and Islamic jihadists. I'm Marco Rubio. I approve this message because this is about the greatest country in the world and acting like it.
Did you get that?
Best football game you've ever been to?
1985, Monday Night Football, undefeated Bears against the Dolphins. I was there with my dad. Never forget that night.
Marco Rubio had a very big night in Iowa.
So this is the moment they said would never happen.
Nobody was attacked more in paid media, in the mailboxes, on the television. Marco Rubio.
After 7 years of Barack Obama, we are not waiting any longer to take our country back.
Rubio's just an incredible candidate. He's got the optimism, he's got the message.
When I'm our nominee, we are going to grow the conservative movement. We are going to take our message to the people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck, to the students living under the burden of student loans, to the families struggling to raise their children with the right values. We will take our message to them and we will bring them to our side. When I am a nominee, we will unite our party, we will grow our party, and we will defeat Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or whoever they nominate.
I don't see Marco Rubio as anything other than a legitimate, full-throated conservative.
Marco Rubio inspires a new generation of voters, but he does so by holding on, anchoring himself to our conservative principles.
If we get this election wrong, it might be too late for America. We can't let that happen. Are you hot? Huh? Would you like some water? I want some water. I've I'm just so glad they're on the road with me, and in so many ways this campaign is about them, about what kind of America they're going to inherit, what kind of America your kids are going to inherit, and it always makes it better when they're with me. So I thank them for being here.
Washington is broken, and both parties are to blame. But it will never get better if we keep sending people to Washington who will say or do anything to get elected. It's time for a president who will stand up to runaway government and fight Washington's special interests in both parties. I tell people all the time, America doesn't owe me anything. But I have a debt to America I can never repay.
I'm Marco Rubio, and I approve of this message.
I wanted somebody with passion. I wanted somebody that had conviction to do the right thing, but I wanted somebody humble enough that remembers that you work for all the people.
36 years ago, this nation faced a period of doubt. After a failed presidency, it felt like America was in decline, our economy was stagnant, and the American dream felt like it was slipping away. And then we elected a president that inspired us, who asked us to remember who we were and who believed, as we do, that America's greatest days always lie ahead. Well, now the children of the Reagan Revolution are ready to assume the mantle of leadership.
The home stretch. Marco Rubio takes the campaign to Central Florida.
This is it. This is the last chance for this nation to get it right.
He's the real deal. He's presidential. He should win.
He has very clear and concise policies, and he has the right temperament to be our next president.
I'm asking you not to give in to the anger. Let it motivate you, but do not allow it to define you, and you do not allow it to define us. What I'm asking you to do instead is to be the party of hope and opportunity.
Marco is a perfect candidate, I think, not just for Northeast Florida, but for Florida and the United States.
These young Americans have the chance to fulfill an incredible potential and destiny, but we have to give them a chance. And they won't have a chance if a Hillary Clinton or a Bernie Sanders is elected. And they won't have a chance. And they won't have a chance if the conservative movement is hijacked by someone who is not a conservative.
Children better off than we could be, and I can see a future for you and me. I'm looking towards tomorrow, knowing that I live the American dream.
Because we did what needed to be done. This generation solved its problems, not left it for their kids. Because we did what needed to be done. The American dream didn't just survive. The American dream reached more people and changed more lives than ever before. Because we did what needed to be done, our children became the freest and the most prosperous Americans that ever lived. And because we did, we were the authors of the greatest chapter in the amazing story of America. And the 21st century became a new American century.